Let's do one more example. Thank you for hanging in there. We're going to do example number 2. And on this one, let's do this. We're going to give something that looks a little bit more complicated, but it's actually not. So negative 8 plus 0.4x plus 7 makes 0.9x plus 14 plus, we'll say x. Okay, so there's lots of pieces here. The idea is the same though, so just remember your steps from the beginning. Simplify, move, isolate. So let's do it. So here, what do we think simplify means, right? Well, we have lots of different pieces here. Some of them look the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my numbers. So just constants, right? Anything that doesn't have an x attached to it. Circle that. On the left, I have the 2 numbers. On the right, I just have the 1. And then let's do this. I have a 0.4x positive, 0.9x positive. Okay. So let's just take this one side at a time. I'm going to draw a long line there. You can go all the way down to your paper. Okay, so on the right side, right, to simplify means put things together that are the same. Hopefully, instead of 3 things, we can have less, right? And so you're looking for things that are the same. So if I have negative 8 plus 0.4x, right, those are not the same. It's a constant and a variable, right? I can't put them together. But if I cover up what's in the middle, negative 8 plus 7, I can do that math. So I'm going to take negative 8, add 7. This is just my thinking, right? I'm going to get negative 1. So I can cross that out, and I can put negative 1. I can bring down that 0.4x, right? And there's some awkward space there, but we can just leave it. So now instead of 3 things, I have 2. On the right side, I'm doing something similar. The difference is now I have x's and the constants just by itself, right? So 0.9x plus x. If it helps, you can put a 1 there. And then let's just do what that math is, right? So 0.9 plus 1. So we'll come over to the side. I'm just adding the coefficients. So I'm going to say 1.0 just to kind of make them look the same. So 0.9 plus 1.0 makes 1.9. I can go ahead and put 1.9 there, x, and then bring down that plus 14. So I always like to have the x and then a number, x and then a number. Notice I just simplified. I'm going to turn this now into an 8th grade equation, and I just want to move, right? So after I simplify, then I'm going to move. So I want to move the x's to one side, I want to move the constants to the other. So again, I'm just a left to right person. I want to move this guy over here. So let's just be visual again. So I box my variables, circle my constants, right? Circle begins with the letter C, so circle constants, box variables. We want to move this 1.9x, it's positive, so I'm going to take it away. Right, and actually I keep forgetting to do this green, I apologize. So take away 1.9x, take away 1.9x. This would cancel out, right? And then 0.4x minus 1.9x, I would just put that in the calculator. So 0.4 minus 1.9, and I would get negative 1.5x. The negative 1 comes down, equals, so negative 1.5x minus 1 equals positive 14, okay? We are so close, so now we're just going to move again. So I want that negative 1 to move to the other side, so I'm going to add positive 1, add 1, right? So negative 1, positive 1, those cancel out. Here, positive 14 plus 1 makes positive 15. Right, so I can keep that positive sign just to help me remember. This negative 1.5x, don't forget about that, right? And so now my last step is to isolate, right? So negative 1.5 or negative 1.5 is the coefficient. Put a little dot there to remember that it's multiplying. So what am I going to do to get rid of negative 1.5 times x? I'm going to divide by 1.5 negative, right? Anything I do to one side, do to the other, right? The reason I do that here is to cancel those out. So negative 1.5 divided by negative 1.5 just makes 1x. And then this math here, I would just put 15 divided by negative 1.5 in my calculator. That should give you 10, and it's negative, okay? So this is what we would call, I'll just add this word here, that's your solution, right? It's just whatever the value of x is, where if I plug that value in to the earlier equation, so if I put a negative 10 there instead of x, and multiplied by 0.4, and then I added these things, and I came up here and I did 0.9 times negative 10, and added 14, and then I added another x, which is negative 10. This would have the same value as this, right? So we call that the solution. All right, as you move forward, right, just remember these 3 steps. Simplify. Can you do it? So maybe that looks like distributing. Maybe that means combining like terms before you start solving. And then we get to 8th grade and it's just moving variables to one side, constants to the other, and then isolating by getting x by itself. That's all you got to do. Good luck.